Good afternoon, assembled media and Aggie men's basketball fans. Welcome to the Pan American Center as we introduce Greg Heiar as the 27th head coach of New Mexico State men's basketball. We'll get, before we get started, we'll get a few words from our University Chancellor, Dr. Dan Arvizu, followed by Director of Athletics, Mario Mocha, and then we'll open things up for Coach Heiar. Following Coach Heiar's comments, we will take any questions from the assembled media, and we just ask that all the media members, with our roving microphone that we will provide you, just introduce yourself, what agency you're from, before asking your question. Without any further ado, here is Chancellor Arvizu.
Good afternoon, Aggie Nation. How are we doing today? Yeah. It's always an exciting time when you're standing in the middle of the Pan Am Center, and a lot of great moments here that we can all share for many, many years. And I have no doubt that in the future we're going to share many more of those going forward. I'll be brief. First of all, when we were at the NCAA tournament, I started getting a lot of questions regarding kind of what happens next. If we're successful, one of the things that we can always count on is that we're going to be the envy of other programs, and so we continue to be the envy of other programs, and that's why we're here today. The one thing that I am very, very proud of is that we have a great athletic director in Mario Mocha. Give me a hand on that one. And Mario has anticipated this day for a while, and we've been talking about it. And I could not be more pleased in the selection that we've made. A couple of things that I'll say. I was in Washington, D.C. this past week, and I ended up getting a chance opportunity to meet with the Secretary of Education, Secretary Cardona. And the thing that we spoke about to the very beginning was that our Aggies had beat his Yukon Huskies. So, yeah. And we're so proud of what that means to our institution, and so proud of our programs here. And I know that only good things will go forward. So I am so pleased, Coach Heiar, Greg. I was going to call you Greg, but Coach Heiar, for taking on this responsibility. I'll tell you right now, we are so excited. We are excited, in the administration and the fans, I'm sure. And I know that the best of Aggie Nation and our basketball programs is yet to come. So without further ado, let me turn it over to best AD in the nation, Mario Mocha.
How's everybody doing today? Ooh, and I like that. Introducing a new coach. How's everybody doing today? I know it's a big event when Jeff Grammer, a New Mexico State Aggie alum, comes all the way down from Albuquerque to cover this. So, Jeff, we really appreciate you being here, okay? Oh, he's getting a round of applause, too. All right, wonderful. That'll be the last time. Hey, thanks for coming today, and thanks for those who are watching on Aggie Vision. Today we open up another chapter in Aggie basketball history, but first I'd like to say thank you to the band, our Spirit Squad, and Pistol Pete for being here. We really appreciate it. Big round of applause for those guys. Thank you. Certainly a big thank you also to Chancellor Arvizu as well. He played a big part in our joining Conference USA. He's been very supportive of intercollegiate athletics in general. So, boss, thank you for all you do for athletics. We really appreciate it. I also have to shout out to another bigwig over here, and that's the chair of the Board of Regents. That's Amu Devastali. So, Amu, who's a season ticket holder, sits right here courtside. So, Coach, she might be giving you some signals, but Amu, thanks for being here. We appreciate that. And certainly, and last but not least, I gotta give a shout out to my wife, Heidi, for being here. Put up with me during this search where I kind of lock everything out and just focus on it. And poor Addie and Gemma, they had spring break, and I was like, you're gonna have to leave Dad alone and we'll make it up to you. So thanks for hanging out with dear old Dad, guys. Gemma would be wearing that Jabari Rice t-shirt, but they don't make them in kid sizes yet. So Jabari, you might want to have a word with Brian Cox about that, okay? All right. Hey, I certainly want to thank some various people who assisted in our search process. First, the committee. You know, we put together a diverse group with specific athletic, academic, and business backgrounds. Some of them are here today, and I want to recognize them. One is Dr. Kevin Melendrez, our faculty athletic rep. Kevin, where are you? Oh, he's back there on the right. Oh, there you go, Kev. And three great supporters of Aggie Athletics, and I think they're all here. One is Dino Cervantes, the Vice President of Cervantes Enterprises. Dino, are you here? Dino's over here. You guys didn't get an argument during this, right? You're standing on opposite ends. Oh, you're standing by Coach Kill. Yeah, now the basketball's over. You're a football fan again. I see that. All right. John Hummer, the president of Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine. John, raise your hand. All right. Kind of a weak hand raise for the president, John, but thanks for being here. And Tim Hargrove, the executive vice president of Citizens Bank. Is Tim here? Well, he's hopefully cashing that check for the Aggies. All right. I'd also like to thank our athletic staff who participated in this process. Bron Cartwright, James Hall, Chet Savage, Ed Pasaski, and Maria Rocha Hall. They did a lot of behind-the-scenes work, doing all the prep work, getting the candidates from here to there. So thank you to my staff, because I know that we got a small staff and they kind of dropped everything too. So thank you guys. And finally, I'd like to thank the finalists. You know, they were a very impressive group, and there was an unbelievable amount of interest in this job. I spoke with them yesterday, and I know they all appreciated being included in the process. And as I start the comments, I was just thinking, you know, the last 2 times we hired a basketball coach, I didn't need cheaters to read my notes, so must be getting older. But a little recap for everybody on the selection process. On Sunday, March 20th, at about 11 a.m., I was informed that Chris Jans would be accepting the head men's basketball coaching job at Mississippi State University. The search committee met as a group last Wednesday, interviewed 3 finalists in El Paso, and it was through this search that I believe we found the right coach in Greg Heiar. As we all know, we lost a tremendous coach in Chris Jans to Mississippi State University. In 5 years, he delivered an overall record of 122-32, a 12-3 record in rivalry games versus UNM and UTEP, 7 wins over Power 5 teams, 4 regular season WAC championships, 3 WAC tournament championships, and has the 5th best winning percentage among active Division I head coaches at 77%. So the question is, how on earth do you replace that? Okay? Well, this is what I think we got with Coach Heiar. He has played for Chris Jans at Kirkwood Community College. He coached with them at Chipola College and during their tremendous, unprecedented mid-major run at Wichita State, where they both, as well as ACC Coach of the Year, Wake Forest Steve Forbes, coached under Greg Marshall, who has won 4 different National Coach of the Year awards. Okay? He also coached at Southern Mississippi with Larry Eustace, who has won 2 different National Coach of the Year awards. He's won an SEC championship at LSU and coached in the NCAA tournament with 7 different teams, including 1 Final Four. He most recently took a 6-15 team from last season, and this month won the national championship for Northwest Florida State College. I believe he knows the blueprint to keep Aggie basketball successful, okay? He currently owns the best winning percentage in the nation at any level for active head coaches at 91% with a 195-20 overall record. I know the guy can recruit because he has a tremendous wife in Jessica. Jessica, could you stand up, please? How about a round of applause? I would like to officially welcome you as the First Lady of Aggie basketball, okay? And as well, and I know she's not here, but daughter Alexis, AKA Lexi, we'll be meeting her later. Now, what sold me the most on Greg was his fit for our program, and his relationships with his student athletes through his tenure as a coach, as well as an incredible passion and a focus to win on a consistent basis at the highest level. So Coach Heiar has hit the ground running. He's met with his team, and he's ready to go. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the 27th head coach of our New Mexico State Aggies, Coach Greg Heiar.
Well, I too, I'm a little younger than Mario, but I too got readers too already. So I'm going to be able to see this fine, Mario. Wow, what an honor. I'm truly blessed to be standing here in front of Aggie Nation as your next head men's basketball coach. I'm just thrilled and honored and just so happy. But first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. This is a very impressive press conference. I was very impressed when I got introduced at Northwest Florida State last year, and we had the whole section full, but it wasn't like this. This is amazing. So this is just a testament to what type of basketball program I'm stepping into as a leader of this basketball program, and it just speaks volume for this university and this community. Second, I'd like to thank Mario and his beautiful wife, Heidi, for the opportunity they gave me here at New Mexico State University. And then, obviously, Chancellor Dan, all right, arvizu, right? Good, I got it right, okay. I really appreciate the Zoom call that we had and the energy and the passion and just the love that you have for this place, and I could feel it through that Zoom call. So I'm just truly thankful for that. Next, I want to thank all my former players. I wouldn't be standing here today in front of all you if it wasn't for my former players. This game is a player's game. I'm all about my players. I've always been about my players. I always will be about my players. For me, I got a simple philosophy. Listen, try, apply, and compete. Those are all controllables. Those are all the things they control. But it's very important that we, as coaches, invest time getting to know and investing in their lives and who they are as people, because people are what make everything possible in this world. And, you know, I'm very, very thankful and fortunate to have 15 former players that I've recruited, that have recruited and coached, that are playing in the NBA, and numbers of guys playing overseas in the Euro League, G League, other means of professional basketball where they can put money in their pocket before they hit the real world. So I'm just truly, truly thankful and blessed for all my former players. I want to thank, yes. I'll get to the current players here in a second, so sit tight, fellas. We had a great meeting yesterday. I really enjoyed being around them. I want to thank my former coaches that I've worked for. Mario had mentioned them. It starts off, obviously, with the GOAT, Chris Jans. All right? How lucky am I to be able to play for the man that just led this program to new heights? All right? I played for him. I got to coach under him. I got to learn from him. I coached with him. He was my next-door neighbor. We watched film together in the basement. We would get in fistfights over schemes and ways that we wanted to cover the other team. And that's the type of passion and commitment he has and I have to winning. So I want to, first and foremost, thank him, Chris Jans, first. Then I was blessed, after I got the opportunity working for Chris, to go work for Larry Eustace. I had many opportunities to leave and go to Division I. I was a young coach. I needed to go to work for somebody that had a lot of experience. Larry had won 12 games, I think, the year before I came at Southern Miss, and everybody was saying, why are you going there? He's going to get fired. I took 3 players with me. We went on to set a school record in wins, and he went on to new heights and got another job at Colorado State because of our winning ways. But I truly am very thankful for what I learned from Larry about accountability, defense, rebounding, and taking care of the ball, and just how simple the game is. We had one play. It was called elbow. Throw it to the best player at the elbow, and everybody else get the beep out the way. That's one of my favorite Larry moments. We never practiced offense one day for the whole 2 years I was there. Then I got an opportunity to go work for Greg Marshall. Greg Marshall is an unbelievable basketball coach and winner and systematic guy that is tremendous offense, defense, schematic, and preparation. And and Chris and I got to work together under Greg Marshall, and we kind of all gelled together as one and turned those 6 years, 4 of them, Chris was with us for 4, but 6 of them into the best 6 years in the history of Wichita State basketball. Then I went on to LSU. That was a short stint there, but I want to thank Jason Shea for him giving me the opportunity when I left LSU to go to East Tennessee. And then finally, I want to thank Dr. Stevenson and Ramsey Ross at Northwest Florida State for giving me the opportunity that has changed my life to take a 6-win team and turn them into a 31-win team and a national championship. And every single person in the program was brand new. I had one player I brought back from the team. He got injured, unfortunately. So every coach, every player was all new. And over the course of 1 year, through the hard work and commitment and dedication from all those players, we ended up winning 5 games in 6 days, and we were the national champions of junior college. So I'm truly honored and blessed for the opportunity they gave me at Northwest Florida. Finally, I want to thank my family. All right, family is what we all say on 3. Family means to me, forget about me, I love you. All right, and people use the word family very loosely. We're not going to use the word family loosely at all because we are a tight-knit family. My wife, Jessica, who Mario introduced, is present here today. Okay, my daughter, Alexis, is at the she's a sophomore at the University of Iowa. All right, she wasn't able to make it, but my parents, Gary and Jeannie Heiar, have taught me and installed an incredible work ethic. They've run a restaurant for 48 years. My mom's been the cook. My dad's been the bartender, and they've just installed work ethic. You see them getting up every day at 8 in the morning. You see them coming home at night at 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and doing it all over again the next day. Nothing substitutes for hard work, and I can promise you, Aggie Nation, we're going to work tremendously hard here in our men's basketball program. That's one thing I can assure you, and that's a controllable of mine, and that's a controllable of the players. Work ethic is something that's been installed in me through my family, and it will be continued to be installed in my players, all right, as we move forward. All right, so I'm truly blessed and honored. And then my brothers. I got a brother, Tim, a brother, Nick, and a sister, Hillary, who mean the world to me, and I just want to send a shout out to them as well. A little bit about me. I'm from Iowa. I grew up in Dubuque, Iowa. My wife and I have been married for 20 years, going on 21 in June. We have one daughter, like I said earlier. We're a very, very supportive family. My wife's sister, Shauna Green, just got the head women's basketball job at the University of Illinois. So we are a basketball family. We believe in the players. We understand the time. She understands the time. We all understand the time it takes to have them to the house, to feed them, to entertain them. We'll have an entertainment house for not only the players, but for the community as well to come over. And our door is always going to be open to the community and to our players, because why would we change? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that is something that is valuable to our family, and our family is the players. They're an immediate family. Moving on to that, the community. We've been blessed to take in every community that we've been a part of. We've cultivated lifelong relationships in every community that we've been to. We go on vacation with friends still from Hattiesburg, from Wichita, from Baton Rouge, from even Johnson City, Tennessee, our 1 year there, Chipola. That's something that means the world to us. You guys are super important. We can't do what we need to do without the support of the community, the university, and everybody that's involved in Aggie basketball. So I promise you, we're gonna cultivate relationships, we're gonna get to know all you guys, and we're gonna have a great time. All right, that's really, really important to us, all right? And I can assure you that we're gonna do that. A little bit about the history of this program. I'm honored that Lou Henson was the head coach here. A Hall of Famer, took him to the Final Four. When I first met Mario and Chris first came here, I can remember looking up Aggie basketball and saying, wow, they've been to a Final Four before. That means if it's happened before, history repeats itself. It can happen again. And then you have Chris Jans, who obviously I've talked in depth about already, but what he's done here to take this program and build the culture, the identity of these players over here. Just the way that they play. I'm so familiar and comfortable with the team because Chris is a role model to me and always has been. So I've always, anytime the Aggies are on, my team at Northwest knows all about the Aggies, because even when we were at the national tournament, we had their tournament game on in our meeting room, and my whole team was down there watching, and they're standing up, and they ran Jacksonville. It's a money play for us when we need a 2-point basket and we don't want to call a timeout. They ran Jacksonville. Sure enough, they got a 2-point, and my team just stood up and ran around the room like somebody dunked on the whole lane. Like, Coach, they just ran Jacksonville. They just ran Jacksonville. So, you know, that's a true story, too. A little bit about how we're going to play. We're going to compete hard. We're going to compete smart. We're going to compete together. And we're going to have a lot of fun. I used to use the term, our motto, play hard, play smart, play together. I changed when I went to Northwest Florida because kids today don't compete enough. They play all the time, and when they lose, they play again. And when they lose, they play again. So competing is something that is just different. When you compete, you compete to win. So we're going to compete hard, compete smart, compete together, and when you do that, you have a heck of a lot of fun winning championships. So that's going to be our simple model of how we're going to play here. Not much is going to change. My personality is different than Chris's personality, but we came up from the same roots, and we have a lot of things basketball-wise that are very, very similar. Something that is really important to me is player development. And it's been important to me ever since I got into basketball. We do basketball school every single day. We work on ball handling, finishing, reads, schemes, fakes, pivots, basic fundamentals that the best players in the world is the reason why they make it to the highest level is because not only do they have an elite amount of God-given ability, but they are tremendous fundamentally. And we are going to work on fundamentals every single day, because this is about the players and it's about them getting better every single day. And when they feel good about themselves and they feel like they're getting better, they'll run through the wall for you, and that's what we're going to do around here. I've been fortunate to be a head coach for 6 years. Those 6 years have prepared me for this opportunity. When you're a head coach, you deal with a lot, on the court, off the court, building community support, getting out in the community, just preparing your team, things administratively on campus. You deal with a lot, and that is really what is going to prepare me for this opportunity. Obviously, I've talked in depth about the coaches that I've worked for, but having that head coaching experience is priceless. And being able to, every single day as a head coach, you determine what your assistant coaches do, what your team does, the drills that you're going to do, the amount of time you're going to spend on, player development, offense, defense, competitive drills, et cetera, et cetera. And for whatever reason, my players, all my previous players, they all at some point during the year call me Houdini, because they say, Coach, how'd you know I'm so good in this spot on the floor? Well, I trust my eyes. Like, I've seen you take that shot from that spot 500 times and make it 400, so why wouldn't we put you in that position to be successful? That's development, and we're going to do that. But that head coaching experience is valuable for this opportunity moving forward. Many coaches would be scared of this opportunity to take over after the success of Coach Jans. I'm excited and really looking forward to the challenge of doing it. I've done it one time before at Chipola. We were 32-5. We took over a program. He was the head coach. I was the assistant. We turned it around in 1 year. He left, and I took it to a whole nother level. So I'm excited about this opportunity. I'm not scared to replace Chris Jans, okay? I'm excited for this opportunity, and he'd be the first one to tell you guys I'm the right man for the job. One Jan story quick before I wrap this up and take questions. When I first played for Chris Jans, the second day we had conditioning at 6:30 in the morning. He's 27 years old. It's his first year as a head coach. I show up 2 minutes late. Now, there's 30-plus players trying out for the team now, and I'm 2 minutes late. I don't think it's no big deal. He said, Greg, he said, you ain't lifting weights or doing conditioning today. He said, get down there on the court. I said, okay, and the weight room was above the court. So the whole team's up there. He says, all right, start going around and touching the net or the backboard. And so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hoops. So I started going around. It's 10 minutes. Start over. Why start over? You didn't touch the net or the backboard. Coach, I've been running around for 10 straight minutes. These guys know what I'm talking about too, right? Accountability, discipline. He had me doing that for an hour. Do you think I was ever late again? So he taught me at a young age, and he knew at a young age what it's all about to be successful. And that's having accountability and holding people accountable to what is right and what you expect, and having high expectations for people. We always strive, right? We always strive for perfection to achieve excellence. You've heard him say that over and over. That's our model. And it's going to continue to be our model moving forward. Like Mario said, again, I played for him. I worked for him. We worked together. It's prepared me for this opportunity. And I'm so excited. Aggie Nation, stand up. We're going to get this thing popping, all right? We're gonna get it going, all right? What you're going to learn about me is I'm full of energy, passion, competitiveness, and confidence. That's what I'm about. Energy, passion, competitiveness, and confidence. And ain't nothing going to change. The last thing I want to say before I take questions is I want to speak to the players. What you guys have accomplished here this past year is amazing. It's amazing. Give them a hand. Winning at any level is hard, let alone winning NCAA tournament games and surviving and advancing. All right? That was an amazing accomplishment. I want to coach all of you. I want to get to know all of you. I want to invest in you. I want to help each and every one of you become the best version of yourself through trust, belief, and just spending time together, all right, getting to know you guys and just building this thing, okay? That's really how I want to end this, because like I started, I thanked my players. That's the reason why I'm here, for being up here. I want to coach you players here and continue to do big things together. And the culture, the identity, and everything that it takes to win NCAA tournament games is sitting right over there. Just give me a chance. Just give me a chance, and I promise I'll change your life. Go Aggies.
Okay, we'll take questions from the press. We know that Aggie Vision's on, so please ask your questions. But when the mic comes around, just identify yourselves and your affiliate, and that'll help for the audience watching at home as well as Coach Heiar. Thank you.
Hi, Coach. Stephen Wagner, Las Cruces Sun News. I'm sure this is something that you've discussed with Mario during the interview process, but whenever Mario asked you what made you the best candidate to be the next coach at New Mexico State, what was your response?
What was my response when he asked me? Well, Stephen, that's a good question. What my response is there's nobody better for the job. Pretty simple. Look at my resume. I've won a lot of games, right? And so, I mean, he just said I was the winningest active coach in college or in basketball. So I think that kind of speaks for itself.
Hi, Coach. Welcome to Las Cruces. Dave Burge with the Bulletin. What would you say are some basic tenets that you're going to, pin the program on? What are some things that we can expect and core value-wise?
Core value-wise, work ethic. Our culture is going to be based off, we're going to work till the work gets done, both academically, athletically. Culture is real simple. It's about hard work. That's all I know. It's how I've been raised, and we're going to continue to do that. And hard work makes up for a lot of deficiencies. It starts in the classroom, and it carries over to the court. We always talk about as a team, if you're doing good in school, you're probably doing great on the court because you got less stresses or less things going through your mind, and you got to have a clear mind to play your game, because mind right, game right is what you'll hear from me all the time. Mind right, game right. So we're about hard work around here. It's going to be real simple.
Coach Richard Coltharp, also from the Bulletin. I appreciate what you said about academics and appreciate your care for these young men right here. We're all proud of these guys. But you mentioned earlier the fistfights between you and Coach Jans. We got to know who won.
Well, my wife would have to come down. She would break it up down there. It didn't get. It got heated. He's an old wrestler, so he's going to take me down to the ground and try to submit me.
Coach, back here in the back, Colin Deaver with KTSM 9 News out of El Paso. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you, Colin.
You've talked obviously a lot about your relationship with Chris Jans and how much you've coached with him, obviously playing for him. What is maybe the most important thing that you've learned from Chris Jans that can be applied to taking over the New Mexico State program?
Defense and rebounding travels. You got to defend and rebound, take care of the ball. A big stat that will be a big stat here is our assist-to-turnover ratio. That's normally has a lot to do with the outcome of the game, and it normally has a lot to do with how good a player you are. If you turn the ball over, all right, to me, you're not considered a very good player. That's why I told the team the whole thing about development is to put a 1 in front of their name, to make them all playmakers. It doesn't matter what position they are. They have to be able to make plays with the basketball and get their teammates open, easy shots by driving the ball to the basket, throwing the ball to the basket with clean passes, but playing together and sharing the ball. And that's how you get a high assist-to-turnover ratio. And it all starts with, passing school, ball handling school, finishing school, footwork, pivoting, fakes, creating a window. There's a lot that goes into that, but we're going to be a team that's going to share the ball. We're going to spray the ball up the court. We're going to throw lobs. We're going to be great at throwing a high pass, something that is, very hard to do. It's easy to say, it's hard to do, but we're going to practice it a lot. If you watch the Jayhawks, they get all kinds of easy baskets on the high pass. Well, we're going to be good at that. But he definitely taught me about defense and rebounding, Colin.
Jeff Grammer, excuse me, Albuquerque Journal. Greg, welcome to New Mexico.
Thank you, Jeff.
Curious if you've already talked with Mario or the Aggie Vision folks. Is the Morocco Supper Club going to be able to get a feed of all the Aggie games?
Oh yeah, trust me. It's probably up right now. They're probably having a party at the Morocco right now. But yeah, we watched all the Aggie games. They watched all the Aggie games. Chris's family and my family are really close as well. So we're just, like I said, forget about me, I love you. We got to support each other, and that's what we're about.
So that relationship with Chris, I imagine he's watching right now too. You guys are doing some schedule making right now. You guys have to put a schedule together for next season for NMSU. He has to put one together for Mississippi State. Can we expect you guys to be on the schedule playing each other?
Why don't you give that mic to Jabari Rice over there? He'll tell you. That was the highlight of the player meeting yesterday. Jabari looked me square in the eyes and said, "Coach, can we schedule Mississippi State?" I said, "Hell yeah, we can." Now I'm gonna have a nice text or message, I promise you, after this.
Coach Nate Ryan with KVIA ABC7 based out of El Paso. First off, welcome to Las Cruces. Can't wait to get to know you better over the next coming weeks. But a question on your staff that you're planning on assembling here in Las Cruces. Have you made any decisions about who's going to be joining you on the bench? If anybody's coming with you from Florida or possible assistance on your radar?
Well, I haven't made any final decisions. I'm waiting to see this is about taking care of people. Taking care of the players, taking care of the people that are close to you. I want to wait and see what happens with the current staff, what Chris does with the current staff, and then sit down and speak to them and whoever's still here, and whether it's a good fit or not a good fit, just gather a lot of information, and then obviously I feel like I had the best. I mean, I can't tell you how many Division I coaches that came and watched our team play this year that said, "Boy, you got one of the best staffs in junior college history." Like, I got good young guys that are full of energy, they're the players come first. They get it. They're just young and they don't have a lot of Division I, very little Division I experience. So I got to work some things out that way. But I promise I'm going to put together a staff that shares the same vision I share. Also going to put together, every coach has strengths and has weaknesses. And a wise man once told me, if you got some weaknesses, you better get someone to help you with your weaknesses. So there'll definitely be some guys that can help me administratively, keep me organized, because, coaching basketball and recruiting and spending time with the players is what I love to do.
Coach, that's loud. Coach, in terms of recruiting, we've seen the way that the transfer portal's worked. It's really changed the landscape of all of college athletics, not just college basketball. But in terms of recruiting coming from a junior college, what is your philosophy in terms of balancing high school recruits versus going into the transfer portal to get players from other places?
My real philosophy is get old and stay old. Because experience, you can't put a price tag on experience, so the transfer portal will be important, junior college will be important, our current players will be important. And then it's the best players that can, it's not about really how old, obviously, like I said, I like older guys, but it's more about what they can do. It's, I like guys that can shoot the basketball. I like guys that can play make with the basketball. Like I told them in the meeting, I want them all to have a point guard's mind, be able to think the game and play the game, and be a great teammate because they understand how to play basketball. That to me, that covers up for maybe some lack of experience. But, we want to be big. We want to not only get old and stay old, but we want to have great size as well. I think that was a big thing this year. What helped us now, win in an NCAA tournament game was you guys had great size on the team at all positions. So that's definitely important. And that helped me this year, putting my team together at Northwest. I was the biggest team in junior college basketball. I mean, I started out the year having 7'1", 6'11", 6'11", 6'10", 6'10", 6'9", 6'9", 6'8", and a 6'7" point guard. So we were huge, so that's kind of my philosophy in a nutshell.
Way back here again. I guess you've obviously been an assistant coach, head coach for the last 22 years. Why is this maybe the right time for you to finally get a Division I head coaching job?
Boy, I really don't know how to answer that, Colin. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have this. It's like the good Lord put me here. He put me here. He put me in front of you guys, and he's given me this opportunity. And it's probably the perfect fit, the perfect niche from all the places that I've been, and just the way things have been done here, and just the fan support, the community, the university. It's just a perfect fit, and that's just my humble way of answering it. Like the good Lord just saved it for this day, because if you look at my
I really wasn't trying to drive down from Albuquerque to ask this question, but since nobody else has asked, this school, this program, has a couple rivalries, and they're important to people here. So I want to ask you about the one up the road with UNM Lobos and the one down the road with UTEP Miners, and how important getting those 4 games, getting wins in those 4 games are to you.
They're extremely important. As a competitor, you love going to a place where they have games that are super important in the preseason, and they're supported, and that's what this is all about, is the rival games as a competitor. And, you know, Chris did a wonderful job in those. He had 12-3 record in those games. And when I was asked that question in the interview, I said, we're going to continue to do the same thing Chris did. We're going to continue to compete to win, you know, in all rivalry games and just every game that is on our schedule, whether it's a rivalry game or not, we're going to treat it like it's a rivalry game. You know, when I played for him, after every game, after about every third game, the other team would say, you know, you talk to the other team's players after the game, and they would be like, man, it felt like we were playing against 6 or 7 guys. Well, you know, because every game we played with our hair on fire, and you know, you hear that about Houston right now, how Houston plays. You know, and Houston, 3 of their better players were hurt this year, and they still make it to the Elite 8 because every single possession on defense, they play like it's their last. And, you know, that's how you win rivalry games.
Jeff, I hope it doesn't surprise you that there was a question that we asked the interviewees about the rivalry games.
You already knew that, didn't you, Jeff?
Coach, again, following up on schedules at New Mexico State, obviously building momentum off the NCAA tournament appearance and the win here that these guys just had last year. Your overall take on, you know, building resumes early in the season built for March Madness and the changing landscape that New Mexico State has, you know, as a mid-major school, but also transitioning now into Conference USA. Do you think that'll eventually, was that a selling point for you, I guess, in the job, the overall, you know, sort of nature of this program and how it's going to be changing conference-wise in a few years?
Oh, yeah, that was like super exciting because we're only going up. We're going to keep going up. And, you know, we can build a even tougher schedule in the non-conference. And, you know, I got to reach out to a couple of my scheduling analytic guys that can, you know how to finagle the metrics of the scheduling, because there's a systematic way to that too that can help you a lot. And obviously the goal is to be able to get in that large bid, to put a team together and to win big games, to put us in position that we don't have to win the conference tournament to get in to the NCAA tournament. And a lot of that has to do with your schedule, your pre-conference schedule, and your resume. And moving up means we're going to play better programs, and which is going to help our strength of schedule and help our RPI and everything. So, you know, that's what we're striving for. We're going to strive here to get at large bids. We got 4 out of the 6 years at Wichita, we got at large bids in the Missouri Valley because of what we're talking about.
Any more questions?
I think Chi-Chi has a question. Yeah.
Thanks for coming out. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. Coach is going to be around. He might have some media obligations, but I appreciate everybody coming out for a historic day.